is room 104, first grade.
God made all things. God made the earth. God made the sky. God made the fish and the birds that fly. Animals, flowers, trees so tall. God made everything, great and small. God made all that I can see. God made you, and God made me. God made me to know and to love. God is my Father in heaven above.
Our second graders.
Say that again.
C-S-E-X.
Look again, Holly.
C-S-E-X.
All right. Music is that a word? Carrie.
2.
Bella.
T-W-O, 2.
Lauren.
T-O.
And George, can you give me another two?
T-O.
T-O. Sunshine.
Deer.
Bella.
D-E-A-R.
Muhammad for here.
Deer. D-E-E-O.
You getting it?
Our third graders in room 105.
We're having a reading lesson. All right, Patrick, you didn't know what the word aggravated meant. Now, after I read the story, which of those three words do you think aggravated means? Tired or calm or angry? Let me read the story to you one more time. Susan wanted to fix her basket, her bicycle basket. She tightened all the screws, but the basket was wobbling. Then she put up the old screws and put in new screws, but that didn't help either. So Susan was aggravated because she couldn't fix the basket. So she gave up trying and put her tools away. Now, do you think she was tired, calm, or angry? Well, we tried tired and calm. Do you agree with them?
No.
What does it mean?
Angry.
Yes, it means she was angry. Now, Patrick, you're going to have to pay attention because we're going to do more work like this today in reading. All right? This is a word you know.
Don't do that. Okay, number 14. This is our fourth grade year students, and they're learning science with Miss Yost.
Okay, we ready? Okay, now if you notice that particular picture in your booklets, boys and girls, about nosebleeds. All right, this is one of the things about first aid that we really, really have to remember. In fact, just the other day, we were sitting downstairs at lunch and so on. One of the fifth graders came in with a nosebleed that he got down on the playground. I was really kind of disappointed that he didn't remember all the steps to follow whenever you get a nosebleed. Now, if you have nosebleeds at home, or maybe you're over your grandma's house and you get a nosebleed, do you ever notice how many different ways people have of treating a nosebleed? Do you ever notice that? Julie, you shook your head. How does your grandma or your mother treat a nosebleed? What does she do? Say it a little bit louder. I can't even hear you up here, Joel.
My mom says pinch the top of the nose, and I'm not sure what my grandma says.
Okay, you're not too sure on what your grandma says. Okay, what we're going to do right here is this. Oh, okay, before we start, Carson, how do they treat it at home?
My dad pinches the top of the nose, goes back over the head where anybody's bleeding. Then he puts his finger on the bottom and about a minute it stops.
Okay, so he pinches technique that we're going to teach you is the way in which the American Red Cross says is the best way of treating a nosebleed. All right? Now, I've heard of some people rolling up some paper towel and put it under their top lip. You've heard that one, Val? Okay? And some people say all you have to do is put your head back with a wet cloth on your forehead. Okay, we've heard those before. All right, now here's what we're going to do. Now, I need somebody to demonstrate on. Oh, boy. Okay, Jen, come on up. Okay? Now, let's say that somebody has a nosebleed. All right? Maybe you got a nosebleed on the playground, or maybe you were down in your homeroom and for some reason your nose started bleeding. Okay? Here's what we do. Now, Jen, I'm going to ask you to turn this around just a wee little bit so everybody can see. All right? Now, one thing that we have to remember, and that's what Mrs. Palmer, our nurse, told us when we were practicing mouth-to-mouth breathing. Do you remember how our nose is connected with our mouth? Do you remember that? And whenever we started mouth-to-mouth breathing, we always had to make sure the airway was open. Do you remember that? Well, the same thing holds true with nosebleeds. If you put your head back too far, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen, Ryan?
Your blood's going to rush down your throat.
Absolutely. You know, of course, whenever you get a nosebleed, it's a tiny little blood vessels inside of your nose that break for some reason. Okay? And if I have Denny over here putting his head back too far, that blood is going to go right down through his nose and down through the back of his mouth. And, ooh, wouldn't that be a weird taste? Who in here has ever tasted their blood that way? Ah, okay, you had your nose.
This is 5th grade in Mrs. Daly and in the library.
Read over the ones that you find. Just a minute, Erin. Okay, well then maybe you might want to find a different one that's more... You have to read each one over and decide, does that sound like a good choice for what we want to do?
Yeah, told him not to list trace.
Okay, I think that's a good one.
Now look, Jenny. Shelly, get out of here. Where's the marker?
Jennifer,
Let's make the first one. Just mark
The 8th grade, Mrs. Fox is teaching a math lesson.
Number 5 on page 214 and 215, 3a minus 3b. 6, negative 2x squared plus 6x minus 14. 7, negative 4r plus 5s. 8, 2y squared plus 5y minus 4. 9, negative a cubed plus 2a squared minus 6. 10, 11p minus 11p minus 9 cubed minus 2r. 11, 2c plus 7. 12, 9rs plus 5st. 13, 15x minus 2y plus 2z. 14, 2a squared plus 3a plus 7. 15, 6c squared minus 9cd minus 2d squared. And we went to 20, right?
The 7th grade class in English, and they are being taught by Mrs. O'Hanlon.
All right, Jason, your
subject is group, what is your verb?
Was.
Was. Okay, you've got a subject complement. Jason, what's your subject complement?
Small.
Small. All right. Now, you have a prepositional phrase that modifies group. Can you volunteer for that, Tim?
Oh, for the job.
For the job is going to modify group, so you mark it so you'll know that it's going to be explaining or describing the group. All right? You have another prepositional phrase that modifies group. Brian, of applicants. All right. Now will you draw your diagram? Remember, you have a subject, a verb, and a subject complement. Yes, you're going to diagram it on your paper. You're diagramming it on the board. Chad, you're going to make that dividing line longer.
This is the 6th grade class, and Mrs. Jablonski is teaching English. Reading. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Okay, now to go on with this, it is the beginning of an outline form. Simplified, almost primitive, but a beginning. And so, your first set of instructions were to encircle. I noticed that some of you had not encircled those 3 main topics. That was supposed to give you, the opportunity to say, oh yes, I remember now, I can see, I understand how those were the 3 most important points they were attempting to make. All right, what were those 3 most important subject matter most important points they were attempting to cover in this particular exercise, Animal Homes That Protect? Okay, Michael.
Should I start with the first one?
Yes.
Underground burrows.
Okay, now anything though from this selection here, Mike, see, because intermingled with the subpoints were the 3 main points. So as you look through these 2 columns, what were the 3 main points they were attempting to make in order to teach you how to outline? Now the 3 main subjects. Just as you look at the up here, what did you see first? Let me see if you underline, if you encircled yours. You sure did. Start with that.
Treetop meadows, underground burrows, homes with underwater entrances.
That's it. Okay. Now those were the 3. Which was presented first in the story? Mark.
Underground burrows.
Underground burrows, right. That should have been on the line Roman number 1. Underground burrows. All right, now on the line Roman number 2, what was the second point, Todd?
Homes with underwater entrances.
Homes with underwater entrances. And finally, Alyssa.
Treetop homes.
Treetop homes. What were the 2 groups who live in underwater homes so that they would be the sub-points? Okay, Erin.
Homes of badgers and homes of moles.
Right, homes of badgers and homes of moles. We would, if you had reversed that order, I'd have been sticky about it because that's not what you want to do in outlining. You want to get that thought. I must remember this, I must note this, I must write this in the order in which it was presented. Okay.
Mrs. Kazmazak helping out. Mrs. always working today and cannot be here. Thank you.
Then you go to
Third grade again, and Miss Booth is teaching English.
Yeah, today we have a piece of paper. You are going to put two things on this piece of paper. One of those is a noun determiner. Remember we talked about those yesterday? A word that comes before the noun, and your second thing is a noun. Anybody remember some of those noun determiners we talked about? Allison? That. Okay. What else? Mike? This. Tracy? Those. Okay, two. Martha? One. Anything else? John? No. Not there. Go ahead, John. These. Good. Okay, one more. Rosemary. The. Okay, your job is to pick one of those noun determiners and write a noun beside it. Okay, make sure you write them this way. Mm-hmm.
How many?
So it fits across, yes. One noun determiner, one noun. Make sure they're nice and big so we can see them when you hold them up. One.
New kindergarten, and we're going to do the story of the little red hen. One morning, the little red hen went outside to find something for breakfast, and she found some grains of wheat. The little red hen picked up the grains of wheat and decided to plant them. She asked her friends, and the cat said, and the dog said, the pig said, and the duck said. So the little red hen said, and she did. Then a little while the grains of wheat grew, and she decided to cut the wheat. The little red hen went to her friends and asked, and the cat said,